We were very excited to sit down with Kareem Roustom over Zoom to discuss his new composition, There Will Come Soft Rains. Kareem is a local Syrian-American composer whose works have been performed by the BBC Symphony, Boston Symphony, San Francisco Symphony, and the New York Philharmonic, to name just a very few. There Will Come Soft Rains is an anti-war work that uses passages from the Bible and the poems of Andreas Gryphius, Sarah Teasdale, and Annie Fields to explore the effects of war. In this excerpt from the full video, we explore with Kareem the way the solo horn, played by Michael Bellafato, functions in the composition. The full interview is available on our website. The work will be premiered at Coro Allegro's March 9th concert, From Darkness to Light. I had a question. I understand that John Brown wanted to have a horn, a French horn in the piece, but since you're sort of given this instrument to work with, what did you do with it? How does it function in the work?
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, I was so happy to have a horn, and especially one of the caliber of Michael Bellafato, who's a wonderful horn player. Um, well, I think it plays different roles. In a way, it's a narrator through history, right? As we go through these different texts through time, in a way, the horn is kind of guiding us on this journey. Um, in the opening, with the biblical text, shall the sword devour forever? It acts as a very, as ancient. I mean, it's probably one of the most ancient instruments that we can imagine, the horn or the ram's horn or these kinds of instruments. So in a way, it plays a role that way. In the Gryphius, it more plays the role of the kind of military bugle type of horn or a hunting horn, and in a way, it has that kind of. It begins that way, but then there's this moment where it has this cadenza, and it kind of it's a very unsettled and maybe rageful cadenza that eventually mellows, and by the end of that movement, the horn is almost sighing and sobbing, with these little techniques of kind of playing these notes that are slightly out of tune. And I think it'll have this very special feeling. With the Annie Fields poem, which is, imagining this soldier walking on a road and seeing this weed growing on the side of the road. It has a very plaintive and very much a kind of a solo feel to it of somebody who's out alone, and very lyrical type of uh, writing for it. And finally, I think with the Sarah Teasdale, um, it it becomes almost part of the choir, because it starts us off at one point singing a little bit of the same melody that the altos begin. So it plays these different roles, but I think I imagined it as our guide through these historic poems.